Have you ever wondered what's happening behind the closed doors of the world's largest corporations? Apple and Amazon, two giants that have shaped how we live, consume, and work, are making a silent yet explosive decision. They're abandoning their factories in China. And this isn't just a minor strategic withdrawal, it's a calculated move, almost as if they know something most haven't seen yet. Now, imagine this. The world's largest manufacturing hub is weakening. Amid this crisis lies a rare, perhaps unique, opportunity for you to turn chaos into opportunity. But pay attention. This video isn't just about geopolitics or international business. It's about you. About how the next steps of these major companies will directly affect your financial freedom. So go ahead and like this video right now if you value content that puts you ahead of the pack. And if you're not subscribed yet, subscribe now because the upcoming videos will show you how to position yourself as the world changes. For decades, China was the beating heart of global production. Products you use every day, your iPhone, the laptop you work on, even your smartwatch charger, likely came off an assembly line in Shenzhen or Guangzhou. But something has changed. The pandemic exposed the fragility of industrial dependence. Rising operational costs, tensions with the United States, severe lockdowns imposed by the Chinese government, and strict control over data and international business have created a climate of distrust. Major companies realized that keeping all their eggs in one basket, especially an unstable one, is a risk they're no longer willing to take. And now, silently, they're leaving. Apple is investing billions in India and Vietnam. Amazon is redirecting supply chains to Mexico and even the US. What once seemed eternal is crumbling. Behind all this, there's a clear signal for those looking to build wealth. When giants move, the attentive investor listens. While the media still focuses on superficial news, true strategists are already analyzing the map. This is the time to pay attention. You know the saying, fortune favors the prepared? Well, this is one of those moments when history changes direction, and those in the right place, with the right perspective, can build a new foundation for their financial freedom. If you want to be among them, like this video now and share it with someone who also needs to wake up to this reality. This helps us continue bringing straight-to-the-point content with alerts no one else is showing. Now think with me, when a factory closes in China, a new one opens elsewhere. And where there's construction, there's opportunity. India, Vietnam, Mexico, these countries are receiving billions in investments. Along with capital come new companies, new jobs, new demands, and new stocks on the market. The exodus of companies from China is creating space for logistic startups, AI applied to manufacturing, supply chain tracking solutions, and much more. The investor who stays alert can get in early, while prices are still low, before the herd effect. It's like having an early ticket to the next growth cycle. Would you rather be the one who buys when everyone else is buying, or the one who gets ahead and profits calmly? Don't wait for CNBC to say it's too late. Subscribe to the channel now because here, we alert you in advance. Imagine China as a towering castle built on unstable ground. For years, this castle shone, seeming unshakable. But beneath the foundations, cracks began to appear. Trust is eroding. And when the foundations of an empire tremble, leaders don't wait for collapse. They leave quietly, first cautiously, then en masse. That's exactly what Apple and Amazon are doing. And that's precisely why you need to understand, the market isn't static. Great fortunes don't arise from stability. They come from movement, from chaos, from restructuring. And now, while everyone is asking, why is this happening? The most attentive are already asking, how can I profit from this? There's no magic answer. There's analysis, action, and time. And the faster you act, the greater your advantage. Enjoying this analysis? Like this video now and comment below with the word vision if you're seeing beyond the surface. Legendary investor Ray Dalio said, "The change in world order begins with a change in supply chains." And that's what we're experiencing. A change in order. The world's industrial center of gravity is shifting. This will affect everything: inflation, product prices, stock values, operational costs of American companies, and, of course, your wallet. But here's the most important part. You don't need to be a millionaire to take advantage of this transformation. You just need to be informed. Be one step ahead. Be willing to learn, study, and move before the majority. And that's what we do here, on this channel. So if you want to be among the first to know where the money is going, if you want to learn how to protect and multiply your wealth, if you want to turn information into decision, subscribe now. It's free, but it could be worth much more than any paid course. If you watched the previous video, you know we're experiencing a historic turning point. Apple, Amazon, and other giants are leaving China, shaking the foundations of the global economy. But now comes the most critical part of this story, and that's what we'll talk about in this video. Because while the world is still digesting this rupture, there's a silent, more powerful, and more strategic movement happening behind the scenes, the creation of new routes of economic power. Countries once considered peripheral are becoming protagonists. And more than that, attentive investors are already positioned to profit from this new capital flow. Now is the time to understand where the money is going, who is driving this new cycle, and, most importantly, how you can get into this game before it becomes headline news. So click like right now because this video will open your vision like few contents do. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, take the opportunity to subscribe now, because here you don't watch news. You anticipate the future. To begin, let's get straight to the point. Leaving China isn't just a reaction to internal crises. It's part of a larger plan for strategic relocation of economic power. India, for example, is attracting tech giants with aggressive tax incentives, cheap labor, and growing political stability. Apple alone has invested over $2 billion in factories in the Tamil Nadu region. And what does this mean in practice? That supplier companies, local startups, and even financial institutions are being pulled by this new flow. It's a domino effect, where each new factory means hundreds of new opportunities. And when you understand this, you start looking at the world differently. You start researching ETFs involving Indian companies, Asian logistics firms, and funds betting on productive diversification. This is the kind of perspective that transforms an ordinary viewer into a visionary investor. Making sense? Then comment below, new era, if you're seeing the change. But it doesn't stop there. Mexico, our neighbor, is also becoming one of the main beneficiaries of this transition. The so-called nearshoring, which means relocating factories to regions closer to the United States, is turning Mexican cities into new industrial hubs. This shift has direct impacts on transportation, technology, real estate, and infrastructure sectors. Companies like Tesla and HP have already announced multi-million-dollar projects on Mexican soil. And here's the key point. While everyone focuses on cutting-edge technology, it's the invisible sectors, such as warehouses, freight transportation, equipment maintenance, and digital security, that could offer absurdly high growth opportunities. So, if you're thinking about where to invest in the coming months, start paying attention to where the rails, containers, and trucks are heading. That's where the money will go. And if you're prepared, you'll be able to build something solid while others are still trying to figure out what just happened. Here's a simple but powerful metaphor. Imagine the global financial system as a river. For years, that river flowed steadily along a single path, China. But now, the riverbanks are opening up, new branches are forming, and the current is changing direction. Those who remain in the old riverbed will dry up. But those who follow the new flow will fish where few are looking. And as investor George Soros once said, it's not whether you're right or wrong that matters. It's how much you make when you're right. So the point isn't to predict everything with precision. It's about being exposed, positioned, and aware of the movements. If you're enjoying this content, hit the like button and send this video to that investor friend who still thinks China is the center of the world. Because the next decade will be defined by those who see what's coming, not by those who cling to what's already gone. Now comes the most practical part of all. How can you, with limited capital, benefit from this movement? The first answer is knowledge. Study ETFs like INDA, focused on Indian stocks, EWW, which tracks the Mexican market, and other funds that expose your portfolio to these emerging economies. The second answer is smart diversification. We're not talking about going all in on a single country or sector, but rather including assets in your portfolio that follow this new economic direction. And the third answer is mindset. The investors who will thrive in the coming years are those who learn fast, adapt quickly, and make decisions based on data, not nostalgia. China is still important, but the future no longer revolves around a single axis. If you want to be part of this shift, subscribe to the channel now, Because in the next videos, I'll show you how to analyze these opportunities in depth using accessible tools and strategies that work even with a small budget. Do you remember when the world's great powers were built on steel, oil, and coal? Well, times have changed. Today, the biggest revolutions happen silently, between supply chains, silicon chips, and industrial robots. In the previous video, you saw how Apple and Amazon leaving China is shaking the world. But now it's time for the most important part of this conversation. Understanding exactly where, in the United States, the new opportunities are emerging. Because yes, while China loses momentum, America is undergoing a new industrial renaissance. But it's no longer a renaissance based on smoky factories. It's a movement driven by technology, automation, and intelligent logistics. And at the heart of it all, entire sectors are being reignited, ready to welcome investors who are paying attention, like you. Go ahead and like this video now, because it's going to give you a real map of where the biggest growth points are. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, because what you're going to hear here isn't on the evening news. Let's start with a sector many people underestimate: advanced manufacturing. Yes, factories are coming back to American soil, but not like they used to be. Now, the focus is on automation, robotics, 3D printing, and artificial intelligence applied to production. States like Ohio, Texas, and North Carolina are receiving billions in incentives to host this new kind of industry. Tesla, for example, is not just building cars in Austin. It's redesigning the entire production chain, with large-scale robots and software that decides in real time how each part should be assembled. This opens the door for a new generation of suppliers, engineers, and tech companies that didn't even exist 5 years ago. And there's more: stocks of companies that create sensors, electronic components, and industrial software are skyrocketing. The investor who understands this early positions themselves not just where the money is, but where it's about to grow. Does this make sense? Then drop a comment saying, Industry 4.0, if you're seeing this shift too. Another sector exploding with this relocation is smart logistics. Think about it. If factories are returning to America, how will products move efficiently? We're talking about a revolution in transportation systems, warehousing, and product tracking. Companies like Prologis, which operates automated logistics warehouses, or Zebra Technologies, which provide sensors and scanners for production chains, are riding this wave. And it's no exaggeration to say, the new gold is efficiency. Whoever delivers faster, at lower cost and with greater transparency, wins. And the investor who sees this early can profit in areas most people don't even know exist. Not to mention the complementary sectors, electric truck companies, tracking software, regional data centers, all growing with this wave of reindustrialization. Liked this vision? Then hit the like button now. It really helps the channel and shows you want to keep learning in depth. Now let's talk about energy. Because no new factory operates without a solid energy base. And as the new American industry bets on clean technology, this directly boosts the renewable energy sector. Solar, wind, and lithium batteries are at the center of this transformation. States like Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico are becoming clean energy production hubs. Enphase Energy, for example, is rapidly expanding its residential and industrial solar systems. And more, the entire supply chain, from materials to software to maintenance, is growing along with it. It's as if every dollar leaving China is being reinvested into a new energy foundation here in the US. For investors, that means a chance to diversify your portfolio with future-aligned assets, not just financially, but ethically as well. Have you subscribed to the channel yet? Because the next video will explore exactly how to build a clean energy portfolio safely. Here's a metaphor that sums it all up. What's happening now in the United States is like a fertile field, once forgotten, now receiving new seeds. The returning factories are the seeds. The emerging startups are the first sprouts. And the sectors that support it all, like robotics, logistics, and energy, are the soil. The harvest. It comes to those who plant now. It's that simple. And as Warren Buffett once said, time is the friend of the wonderful business and the enemy of the mediocre. This new phase of the American economy is the ideal soil for wonderful businesses. And you have the chance to plant in it. If you're still watching this video, comment "New Soil" and share this content with someone who needs to understand where the future is truly being born. Maybe you arrived here thinking all this is too big for you. that industrial investments are only for the rich. But let me tell you, it has never been more accessible to participate in growth cycles than it is right now. You can start with small investments in ETFs that expose your portfolio to advanced manufacturing, logistics, and clean energy. You can study promising companies based on fundamentals instead of trends. And most importantly, you can build a long-term mindset by looking at where the world is going, not just where it's been. The factory exodus from China is just the beginning. The American rebuild is already underway, and you can be part of it. Share this video with someone who needs this vision. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the notification bell, because in the next episodes, I'll show you exactly how to find the best companies, even with little money, and how to invest with clarity and purpose. Let me leave you with a reflection that can change how you handle money from today forward. What you're witnessing now isn't just an economic shift. It's a chance to restart. It's like the world is resetting the game and giving you the option to begin at the right point. And if you're already here, already listening to this, it's because you're ready. Most people will stay stuck in the old model, hoping the past will come back. But you can go further. You can be among those who build the new. So take advantage of it. Share this video with someone who needs to open their eyes. Leave your questions in the comments below. I'm here to guide you on this journey. And never forget, financial freedom isn't about having a lot of money. It's about understanding what's happening and acting with clarity while the rest of the world is still asleep. You might be thinking, but Domini, this is all too big for me, I don't even know where to start. And I get it. Truly. But let me tell you something that changed my life. Every empire starts with a seed. And sometimes, the only difference between the one who plants and the one who just watches is the courage to take the first step. The current chaos is the fertile soil where the new financial empires will be born. Some will build, others will just observe. The choice is yours. But if you made it this far, it's because you're already different from the majority. So embrace that difference. Take this as your turning point. And if this video made you think differently, share it with someone who needs to see this too. Help spread this vision. Because together, we can turn this global crisis into a new beginning.